How's it going, guys? And welcome to the first of hopefully many non-league podcasts that we're going to do over the course of the year. There's currently 8 of us in here. I'll introduce you to them all in a minute. What we're going to do is hopefully just chat all things non-league, National League, North, South and below in some cases. And FA Cup week, obviously, we'll talk about the games today. Marine, valiant effort, but not good enough. I hope you can stay listening. So what I'll do is I'll introduce you to the lads. See what happens. So Josh, Hampton and Richmond fan, say hello.
All right.
That's Josh. Tom, Torquay fan, say hello.
Hello, how you doing?
Good, thank you, Tom. George, Torquay, say hello.
Hello.
Kel, Hartlepool, say hello.
All right.
I'm a Yeovil fan, Brad. I'm sure some of you know me. I'm sorry if that's the case. Dan, Kings Lynn fan, say hello.
All right, lads, how's it going?
And we've got Will from Woking.
All right.
God, I feel sorry for you.
I think best place to start the day, Marine Tottenham. Well, George, I'll let you take it away. What were your thoughts on the game? I know you watched it.
It was a decent game. Always going to be hard, but Spurs played their second team of like the quality side, so I wasn't like surprised about the score. If anything.
Yes, fair enough. But I was at a talking point, right? Vinicius Junior's. Is it Vinicius Junior or is it just Vinicius?
It's just Vinicius.
Vinicius.
Yeah, it's just Vinicius.
His celebration, right? What are people's thoughts on that?
Funny.
Some people saying
It's just a bit of fun, I suppose, but
I
think
think
he
he
has
has
the
the
right
right to do it.
I think he's allowed to celebrate.
At the end of the day, lads, I think him celebrating a goal like that, it was a simple tapping from half a yard away.
Yeah, he
I
was
think-
smashing the ball in as well. What's he doing?
I think I think he should save this celebration for his third goal because I
He's
think
got to bury it, though, isn't he?
I heard something
Yeah, but
about
I understand
dedication
they shouldn't have like whacked the ball in, obviously. But like, I don't think the celebration. I don't think the celebration, like, he should be allowed to celebrate, in my opinion. Like, I understand it's against Marine, but if you score, you celebrate.
Yeah,
Even
not that
from
deep.
the top to
It's
the
a
bottom.
celebration.
Yeah.
I understand
Well,
the
I see
whole
yeah,
thing,
something
but-
earlier.
at the end of the day, it's just a celebration.
Yeah, but I've seen something earlier. Being from Brazil, ain't it? I think Brazilian.
Yeah.
He is. Yeah. Like, does he know about the FA Cup and does he know exactly how low in the footballing
Yeah,
ladder
true. I
Marine
guess
are?
any
Yeah,
goal's
maybe,
big,
yeah.
I suppose.
And also,
exactly.
I remember Lucas Morris saying in his post-match interview that Vinicius, I say his name, don't really understand English. Well, I'm not saying that's the reason, but maybe if he doesn't understand English, he doesn't understand like the culture of football over here, if that makes sense.
True though, but
Yeah,
the
exactly.
thing is,
And also,
thing is-
what you got to remember, did he not get much game time either? So like that's probably his way of celebrating.
yeah, that's a good point. He's second
Yeah.
choice behind the best striker in the world, apart from Lewandowski. So
Nah.
he doesn't get much game time as it is. So he has to make his chance count when he gets game time.
But
Yeah.
But yeah, it was a good game though, wasn't it? I mean, Marine gave it a good go.
Marine
That
tried
shot
the
right
best.
at the
It's
start.
always nice
If they
seeing a
scored
big
that,
cup
it
tie
would have
like that.
been a different game.
that shot start that hit the bar. Yeah,
oh, that was
But
beautiful.
I think
35 yards, was
Spurs did
it?
a professional job, really. Like
Yeah.
it was a professional job. They got the job done.
that
And they've already-
16-year-old, I can't remember his name.
Divine
Anyone
one,
know?
or something.
Divine,
Alfie
Yeah.
Devine,
Alfie
16 years
Devine.
old.
Yeah, he was a good player.
He was
I-
born in August 2004. Just let that sink in.
I think that
2004.
even Marine, a semi-professional side from the, was it Northern Premier League Division 1 or something?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or
Yeah.
isn't it, or something?
I think they looked as professional as you can get out there.
Yeah.
You can't not commend them for that.
Yeah, you just
Considering
want,
they've not
Yeah.
played in a month, they were pretty decent against the
Think
Penn
of all the money they'll earn from that. They'll probably be able to push it on in the league next year and probably get promoted.
and
Yeah.
the 30,000 tickets they've sold online.
Well, yeah.
That's
I-
yeah.
I've got here as a figure 30,697 tickets sold. If that's £10 a ticket, I work that out to be £306,970.
Not
That's
bad
mad.
at all.
Did any of you buy a
that is
ticket?
incredible. No.
No.
I must admit, I
Right.
didn't buy a ticket, but
There we go to all our listeners, big non-league fans.
Yeah.
Let the
Well, if
little
you think
kids go,
about the
"No,
amount
I'm
of money
good."
that'll do for Marine,
It's
Yeah.
massive.
that is maybe not for bigger clubs. Like bigger clubs won't actually understand how much money that actually is for low teams, but that could pay for players' wages. That could even pay for a youth stand.
Considering the
Yeah,
year
Yeah,
they've
exactly.
had,
New
Yeah.
ground. Hopefully they might build. I don't know.
Yeah,
And I think Tottenham have also said that because normally they'd have a right to, I think, either 45 or 50% of that. I think Spurs have also said that they're not going to bother fighting for
Yeah,
it,
it's fair
which is
enough.
fair
Good.
enough.
yeah.
Fast
Yeah.
one,
Never
yeah.
knew
Respect
that.
to Tottenham to do that.
So, because it would be a pretty dickhead thing to do, really, wouldn't it? Because they've got all the money in the world, and Marine have got £2.50 and a pint of lager.
Yeah,
In retrospect to Spurs, so
Considering they've not like played a game in a month as well, got no
Yeah.
money. It's respected, to be honest. Makes sense.
and they're looking at not playing the game again until 2021-22.
It's mad.
yeah.
yeah, that's true. Yeah, this was probably their last game of the season.
Definitely. That yeah.
Yeah, it
Definitely.
looks like it.
I'll tell you what, Tottenham point. Gareth Bale, a man who has won 4 Champions Leagues, scored in the Champions League final, won countless trophies, and then he's on the bench against Marine.
Yeah,
it's
pretty
I was-
mad,
It's
really.
mad. It's
I
mad
was
if you
getting
think
That's
about
a
it.
dream
thought
come
it
true
was
for the
hella-
Marine players. That's
Yeah,
That's
personally,
what-
yeah.
That's what you love about the
Definitely,
FA Cup, though. Anything can happen. Like, anything like
Yeah.
that.
It's a magic
Don't
of
get
the
it in
FA
any
Cup,
other cup. Yeah.
Do you know what?
Did we have any-
If I was a
Go on.
Marine player, I would be so happy with the fact that it was only 5-0.
Yeah, true.
Yeah,
That's actually
Yeah.
like a positive scoreline for Marine, considering
Spurs
they've not played
battered
a month.
Tranmere
They-
7-0 a couple of years
7-0.
ago.
Yeah.
yeah.
So
And I'm glad Spurs still put out a strong lineup without putting their
Well, yeah.
strongest out.
Things that
Yeah.
they actually attacked Spurs as well. They didn't just
Yeah,
sit back.
They
and park
did,
the
yeah.
Yeah, they nearly scored that goal, didn't they?
yeah, that's what we
Yeah.
like to see. It's good.
Well, if we carry on like this, we're going to end up overtaking Talk Tottenham. So I reckon we move on.
I was going to say we
Yeah.
are a non-league podcast for a reason.
Yeah.
Let's start a non-league podcast talking about Tottenham and Gareth Bale. We'll move on then. Were there any other non-league? Well, what have we got then tomorrow? Stockport, isn't it? West Ham.
Stockport, West Ham.
That's going to be a good game, I reckon.
That's an interesting one to watch because it'll depend on what side West Ham put out.
Yeah.
Is
Yeah,
it at
exactly.
Edgley Park? It is, isn't it?
It's at Stockport, yeah.
Yeah.
The
You
Stockport
saw
have got
West
some
Ham
quality
lose
players.
to Wimbledon in the League Cup a few years ago? So
And the
No,
Yeah.
FA Cup.
FA Cup maybe, yeah.
FA Cup, yeah.
If Stockport's got a
4-2
good side
and
out and go for it, then it could be a good game.
Yeah.
And also,
Stockport have got
sorry, you
players who
continue.
can, yeah, Stockport have got players who can basically just change the game, like John
Yeah.
Rooney.
John Rooney's a good player. He can do anything he can.
He should
Oh, yeah.
have gone up
Saw
to
that
the-
goal against Rochdale. He's got a bit of
Yeah.
magic in him, isn't he? So
From beyond the halfway line, wasn't it? So
yeah.
I think that would be a very good game. But also another thing you have to consider is, do West Ham put out a strong side and go for it, or do
Yeah.
West Ham put out like not a full under-23 side, but
That's probably a wrong conclusion, in my opinion.
I think they'll go strong
Yeah.
side. I think West
I
Ham
think
can
they
do
will
it with
go
an FA
strong
Cup
side,
run.
yeah.
When was the last time they won a trophy? A long time.
Yeah,
I
they'll
think-
I
definitely
think
win
it'd be
a cup
good
run,
for the
100%.
club to at least get to the semi-final if they can.
I think
Yeah.
leave out the likes of Declan Rice.
Yeah, I doubt he'll play. He'll have a break, I think. They
I'll be
haven't got a
interested to see
striker
who
out
plays
there,
up
West
front.
Ham, so be interesting to see who they go with.
But
I'm very
I-
interested to see who starts up front, to be honest, because, Sebastian Harlan's went to Ajax. Maybe Michael Antonio. But that's
Yeah.
really about the only striker.
Well, it probably would have
Yeah.
been Snodgrass, but he's gone to West Brom. So
Gareth Bowen, can he play up front?
I think he'll be able to do a job there, but was against Stockport.
I
he's
reckon they'll
really
field
well.
like a younger side, to be honest.
players like Bowen know what the cup means to these teams, though.
Yeah. The only downside of Stockport is if they had fans, they'd probably get about 8,000 in there. Edgley
Yeah.
Park.
They'll get a lot
Yeah.
of fans.
Yeah, they've got a good fan base. They probably would.
It's a hell of a stand behind the goal, isn't it? If anyone's
Yeah.
ever been.
Yeah, it's quality, isn't it?
I can say that I've never been to Stockport because Kingsland have never played Stockport. So
Yeah.
You not played him yet?
no, I
You
think we
can't
play
go though, can you?
in February at home.
Oh, we had a great time at Stockport. 3-1 win.
Oh,
all
so
their
do
fa-
we.
all their fans going home early. I mean, what more could you want?
Sounds like Boston away on New Year's Day in 2020.
Right, if we're going into National League, one place to start at the top of the table. George or Tom, either one of you, take
Yeah.
it away.
Do you want
How
to start,
gutted
George,
are
or
you
me?
You
How
start. Tom.
gutted are you that the game is now off on Tuesday, and what are your thoughts on that?
Well, I mean, it's really big annoyance because obviously with the Yeovil game the other day, from going from a winning position in the 87th minute to actually lose 2-1 was.
Well, did you lose that one?
I mean, yeah, it was. We just wanted to get back as soon as we could and put it right, but to see that the game's off was just for the second time as well. Because obviously Solihull had to cancel it about a month ago because of COVID. I mean,
did I read
it's
as
not-
well that one COVID case?
Oh,
Yeah, there's only one, which is a
Just
problem
One
with the league not funding testing like League 1 and 2. I mean, if we had that,
It's
we wouldn't have
questionable.
those problems.
Also, it's not as if Solihull over the years have been short of money, is it?
Yeah,
Realistically,
exactly.
if they wanted
Paying Adam Rooney £3.5 a week or whatever it is.
Wait, what?
Yeah. So,
But also
not
another
gonna-
point you have to take it in. Like Kings Lynn a few weeks ago, our assistant manager tested positive for COVID. He travelled on the bus to Alfreton on the Tuesday, a couple of days before it got announced. The whole team will have to self-isolate.
What? They need to bring in more testing because that to me makes no sense. What if they all get negative, but that one player, one coach?
We're never getting the season complete unless we
Well,
sort this out. Let's
They
be
need
honest.
to get. They need to get like
Yeah.
more COVID test in because that's the only way it's going to solve things. Because they're
yeah.
making everyone self-isolate for one player. That just makes no sense to me.
Oh,
If they,
definitely.
If they postponed it, like they knew Saturday, they cancelled Saturday night. Why don't they do COVID test Saturday? You'd know by Monday.
Look at Dover though. They keep having to self-isolate. They've played 10 games.
And
10
Barnet.
games in, I think, in 3 months. It's ridiculous.
Altrincham have played 18. So how do you decide?
I'll be honest with you, the season's not ended, not a chance, and that hurts because how do you solve the season if you do cancel it? Null and void?
I think the league rules, the FA rules even state that you have to get to 50% of the season done before it can be decided on PPG. So either you take a pot chance and wait until everyone gets 22 games, but by then the vaccine would have pretty much gone around everyone anyway, so what's the point?
So Dover have to get 12 games in, whereas Altrincham have to get 4 in.
Yeah,
but say Torquay get to 22 games before they get to fucking 10, makes no sense. How's that going to work? Say Torquay get to 22, can they point per game it, or would that have to be voided?
That's the decision that the FA National League have to
It's
make.
never going to end well, is it? Let's be real.
but
Yeah.
I must also admit I am feeling a bit suspicious about Dover because of the fact that at the start of the season it was uncertain whether they'd even start it. So I wonder if this is just their way of saying cut the costs, we'll just claim we got self-isolate every week.
But why would they do that? Because it gives them no time to train, and then they've got less chance of getting a result when they play anyway.
Yeah, I see that point of it, but it's a tough one, isn't it?
It's very suspicious, in my opinion. That Dover's already played 10 games, and then they have to keep on self-isolate, and then they're going to fall further and further down.
Problem is,
8 games. There's 8 game difference between Dover and a lot of different teams, so I think there's something really fishy going on in my opinion.
Doesn't make sense.
No.
I think another team in a similar boat to Dover, down at the Barnet, who've called 2 games off now. Who are they supposed to play on Tuesday? I can't remember who it was. Or today. Was it today they called off?
They're meant to be
I
playing
could, but they
Yeovil, isn't it?
called
Tuesday?
Yeah, Yeovil.
Yeah,
Tuesday,
They're
I'm
supposed
sure.
to play Yeovil on Tuesday, but I think the COVID case that they've got, they knew about at the start of the week. And so if it's a 10-day isolation period, surely you make a decision at the start of the week whether you're going to play that game or not.
Yeah. I think the FA should subsidise testing.
Yeah, that has to be brought into place in our league. Why isn't every other league for our league?
We're in a league league. Like, what's
Yeah.
what's stopping it?
But
Yeah,
like
but it's
that,
not
the
at
board
later
have to
late
do that, I
league.
think. But they
I
won't.
know that some of the teams in the league are part-time and some players have proper jobs, so that even brings in more of the need for testing. So
We need help by the FA or the board to help us. Like, but I can't see it.
the FA are quick to give us grants. Grants are needed, but put a bit of that pot aside for testing.
Definitely. Like, needs to happen, else the season's just not going to end, and it's going to be an ongoing cycle. In my opinion.
Isn't the again off with non-league, but the Euros are supposed to start 2021, aren't they? I believe.
July
Yeah,
the
yeah.
July
Summer.
the
Yeah.
10th, I think, or something
So
like that.
that's another thing that obviously we all know the Premier League have a big say in what goes on at all levels of football with the money they've got and everything. But the Premier League aren't going to want to run the season if the Euros are going on
Exactly.
much halfway round.
The Prem
I
will
think
end their
it's-
season, definitely, I think the Prem will carry on either way.
And the
Yeah.
Well, of
championship.
course they will.
Premier EFL will definitely carry on.
Yeah, because they've got like backed by the Premier League actually giving them fucking testing, where we've
Yeah.
got nothing in our league.
I know. Yeah.
Like EFL are getting tested twice a week. We're not. We've got zero testing.
Why can't we at least test once a week, maybe on a Wednesday or something?
Yeah,
No, that'll make sense. We are an elite league. We need to start acting like it.
because
Yeah.
basically what's happening is one person's getting COVID symptoms, and that whole game's off for one person.
Yeah, it's
Like,
not good enough.
What's to say? Like all the other players and the staff are not fine. You know what I mean? Like,
And that is exactly why we need testing to test that your field players actually have it or not.
definitely, but
Like yesterday, it got announced that our I think he's left back, Aaron Jones, right back, not left back. Aaron Jones got COVID during our self-isolation period. Like, that's fine because we're self-isolating, but if that happened during, say, a match week, then we're screwed. I don't get it.
yeah, there needs to be a middle ground. Help somewhere.
You think about it, though, we're always the league that get forgotten. Like,
Yeah.
Premier
Yeah,
League.
but that's because our board just is useless. Like, look at the lockdown. Like last year, we like everyone else
But I
knew
think
what's
that's
going
where
on. We
things
didn't know
need to
for like a
change
month.
because back in 10 years ago, National League was just looked at as part-time league, wasn't it? But it's changed so much now. But it's not much different to League Two, so we should get treated more like they do. Really. But
Yeah,
that's why
like
it's
recently
different,
coming
yeah.
down from League Two, there isn't a big difference in the quality of football at all.
Yeah,
Like,
but
it's
the clubs that are in this league now is near enough the same amount of ex-league clubs as there is in League Two anyway.
yeah,
It's like
Yeah.
I think there's probably about
even when you look at
80%
League Two.
80% of the National League was once League Two.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
And then you look at National North, which has had teams like York and Boston in it.
yeah. Well, actually, here we go. Prime example. Surely beating Derby, albeit it wasn't a great Derby side, but they've also beaten. Was it Peterborough?
Yeah,
Say Peterborough
And Wigan.
Yeah.
and Wigan. So that's 3 football league sides that they've knocked out in the space of 2 months, and that's a side that got relegated from the conference.
They were
Yeah.
pretty poor in the conference as well. Let's not.
They
They
were
were very
shocking, yes,
bad, yeah.
admittedly, but
I think Chorley. Where are Chorley in the National North now?
They're right near
Near-
bottom, aren't they?
Yeah, not doing very well.
Oh,
No,
Christ.
they picked up.
no,
Yeah,
they're
they've gone
mid-table. They're 10th.
Yeah.
They're 10th.
They're 10th now, aren't they?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then they know they'd wind us up. Yeah.
I think Chorley could end up getting back in the National League soon.
Yeah, with the money that they got from the FA Cup money,
Yeah.
they'll be able to get better players at that level.
And if they get drawn at home to, say, Spurs like Marine did, I'm not saying it will happen, it probably won't, but if they do, TV money from that's going to be mega as well.
Yep.
Yeah.
They've already made enough as it is. I mean,
Yeah.
they were on the telly against Peterborough. They were on the telly against Wigan. They were on the telly yesterday.
I think it's brilliant, by the way. The Adele singing after the game, that is going to
Oh yeah, it's
keep
class.
that is
played
amazing.
over and
Brilliant,
over again.
Brilliant.
It's a shame their fans can't be there to see it.
It just shows
Definitely.
how close non-league players are, because
Yeah.
you wouldn't see stuff like that in the Premier League or the Championship, would you?
No,
But
not really, no.
non-league players are fully passionate about the game because they're mostly part-time timers who plumb or are carpenters during the week. So
Yeah.
I wouldn't really say at the top anymore, though. There's a lot of full-time sides.
yeah,
I've seen today, bit of news, Weymouth are looking to become full-time. Do you reckon
they?
that's a bit of a, yeah.
They've got to stay up first, haven't they?
Yeah,
Yeah.
Exactly. That's
Not sure it's the best time to be thinking about that.
Yeah, they're training
I-
more days, aren't they?
no.
Like 4 days a week they're training now, I think.
Yeah.
I think if they stay up this season, then yes, full-time. That's what Kings Lynn will have to do.
That's what
What?
Woking have had to do.
Yeah,
Well, if you think about it, it's a good thing that there's another National League club going full time. It makes the
Yeah.
league look
Yeah,
a lot
it's
more
good.
professional than
Yeah,
it
but
is, isn't
they
it?
haven't got the finances, have they? I swear they're like struggling right now.
yeah, but as soon as you get a few investors in on it, then simple is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It won't be long before the whole league is full-time, I think.
yeah.
It won't be.
Standard
5
of
years.
football's good enough.
Everyone will be full time.
I think
mean,
half
Probably
teams
2
in the
years.
national.
Don't know.
I think half teams in the National North could probably go full time as well.
I
Well,
think it is risky business for Weymouth, though, because
Yeah.
there's got to be
It's a
some
risk.
money
It's
involved
always
in
a risk,
that,
though,
getting
isn't it?
players out of their full-time job. Well, when I say full-time, part-time, full-time, whatever it
Yeah.
is. I know some players work all day. But there's got to be some money getting them to move away from that job. And
There's no
in a time where money's not easy to come by,
Yeah, definitely.
that
Like,
comes with some risk.
it's a massive time to do it. It's a bit of a risk, but
It's always
And-
a risk.
Yeah.
But if
and
it pays
also-
off, it could be very beneficial for them in the long term.
yeah.
Also, another thing you've got to remember is they get streaming money, so they could possibly chuck that in the full time pot. But how much do they
Yeah.
have to pay to a streaming company?
Yeah, or maybe they're
There's
using the
also a lot-
COVID like lockdown right now as an advantage to train more. I don't know. But
It goes on about how many fans they get weekly, like how many fans they're bringing in.
Because
Yeah.
Weymouth have got a couple class players. I think it's just a case of they need to stay up and then
I
They,
must
decide.
admit,
funny
they
thing
didn't
is,
sell it Tuesday night.
when we played them, they were a really good side. They gave us a really good test. And I thought after that game they got on a good run, but then they played Yeovil and got absolutely hammered. So
So on the
Well-
opposite there, like I seen them on Tuesday, and that was as poor a side as I think
Yeah,
I've ever watched
they're not
Yeovil play
they're not
against. They were
consistent enough to stay up.
absolutely shocking.
What was the score against Weymouth for Yeovil? 3-4-0, was it?
3-0 Yeovil, but it was comfortable. I think Weymouth had one chance maximum the whole game. Yeovil just controlled it. And Yeovil, as we all know, haven't set the world alight this season in the league.
to
I
be
think
fair though,
that was
Weymouth
quite
looked good
poor.
against us, but we weren't very good that game. So, but I don't
No,
think they'll
that's a
stay
good
up.
But I think it's always going to be difficult because they've done similar to Kings Lynn in a double promotion.
Yeah.
Maybe
Yeah.
they've gone up
They
too
had
early.
fans
Maybe they
against
needed.
Torquay as well, didn't they?
Yeah,
Mhm.
fans. Yeah, they had fans. Yeah.
Yeah, they had
Yeah.
a home advantage against Torquay.
Yeah,
but
'cause that's funny.
Yeah, our first game with fans was against Torquay, and that's the best I've seen Lynn play in quite a while.
Mm.
So
and obviously Torquay had fans against Yeovil on Boxing Day, and we don't need to dive into what happened there.
Adam Smith had a nightmare.
Does make
I
a
think
big
he
difference.
got a bit too drunk on Christmas Day. That's what I'm gonna say.
Yeah, but since then, to be fair, Yeovil have been very good.
No, but they weren't.
Well,
I
yeah.
wouldn't even say like
Played very
against
well.
us they were decent, but they weren't the best.
But
at
yeah,
best.
you look at the team; they shouldn't be down there. Come on, like,
They shouldn't be, but like
Oh, no.
that
the,
Josh
the players that they got, they shouldn't be
Noiville,
down.
good
Shouldn't be down
player.
to be fair though,
Yeah.
I don't even rate him that highly. If I'm being honest.
Yeah, but he did sort of change the game for them. Like to get him back on loan, that's quite big for them.
oh, it's easily
Scored on
big for
Tuesday
them.
as
Yeah.
well. Very good goal.
I reckon that Yeovil come top 10. They won't get playoffs. They'll just miss out.
I think their poor start's going to cost them in the end.
Definitely.
Oh yeah.
I don't know. It depends whether they can get a good run of non-COVID affected games going, and 'Cause
That's
it-
it, though, isn't it? 'Cause
Yeah.
Yeah, but to be fair though,
Torquay
down to like where we are, like Yeovil, Devon area, the COVID's not really that bad, so they should be alright.
Yeah.
I hope so.
Yeah, that's
But-
why we're quite lucky, really. That's
but
why
then
we've
we're
had not many games off.
Please, looking at the table, there's a very clear gap between the bottom three and the teams above. Like even Kings Lynn are 6 points ahead of Weymouth with 2 games in hand.
Exactly.
Yeah, and that's with like all the other
I believe
teams playing, like,
the
games in hand.
relegation's already sorted, personally.
Yeah.
I
It
think.
could,
Yeah.
but Dover,
it is
I know-
easily.
I know Barnet have got Tim Flowers in, which is a decent
Yeah, but I
appointment.
swear-
'cause he'll get them playing football.
But I
but-
swear, if like the Southern League, if that actually does get voided, no one goes down again, or would the people teams do it?
No, what will happen is
It's-
you'll still have teams come up from the National
South,
North and
yeah,
National South. So you can still relegate teams from.
But there
Yeah.
won't be teams going down from South and North.
No.
Yeah.
I think the 3 relegation places because of Macclesfield's going to be big as well,
Mm.
because otherwise Kings Lynn would be down there and then it'd be a bit tighter.
Oh, definitely. I think Macclesfield going bust, and I hate saying this because we went bust 11 years ago, and it was heartbreaking. But I think Macclesfield going bust, it's really saved our bacon, really.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd say so. Because the bottom
You've
3,
got to be selfish, haven't you? Really,
Yeah.
on a football
Yeah,
aspect.
you've got to
You
be
need
self
do.
sometimes.
Like
Yeah.
I absolutely hate teams going bust because I went through it, albeit I was only 7 at the time, but it's still heartbreaking at 7 or 70. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
from
If any
going to-
Macclesfield fans have made it this far in the podcast, I do apologise. I'm sure Dan doesn't mean it. He's just very happy that Kings Lynn are looking like they might stay up.
well, who knows? Macclesfield might have gone down further. Right, I'm going to shut up now.
Yeah.
What is happening with Macclesfield anyway? Does anyone know?
Yeah,
Are they
they're
Yeah,
before
they said they're
like,
reformed,
uh,
didn't
like
They're
go along
hoping to
how-
start next season, I believe. I think.
What league will they go into? Will
Yeah.
they go into the same tier as Marine or tier below?
Bury, the same one as
I think
Bury.
it's
Yeah.
I think it's the same league that the New Bury are going in.
Yeah.
So Northwest Counties, isn't that?
I
No,
think
no,
it's,
Northwest
I think
Counties,
it's
yeah.
2
Yeah, fair play
divisions
to
below Marine, I
Robbie
believe.
Savage. He set it up by the sound of it.
Yeah, I think.
Oh,
yeah,
definitely,
you're right.
yeah.
He's obviously thinks a community can't go not having a football club. That's fair enough.
Yeah.
You can't.
Thing is, it's a couple thousand people's hobby, and even at
Exactly.
the
Life
can't
as
go,
well,
but being
sometimes.
able to just watch a team is something.
Yeah.
It'll be fun for them as well, going to all these grounds, taking big numbers.
Be a new experience.
Yeah.
Be a new
Exactly.
Going
experience.
to grounds which are literally in playing fields
Well,
with
yeah,
a bit
you
of
see-
little
you
tape
see,
across the
You
pitch.
see what Hereford
Yeah.
did a few years ago. They used to take, what was it, 3,000 to every game
Yeah.
at one point. Yeah.
When they came to us on a Tuesday night, I think they must have bought the best part of 300-400.
Yeah, and Kings Lynn's literally the other side of the country, isn't it?
Yeah, it's about 300 odd mile away. It's
So it does sort of revive your club a bit when you start winning promotions and all that.
yeah.
So I'm sure they'll come up a bit like a stronger club.
Definitely.
I mean, look at Salford. Yeah, they didn't fold, but ever since Gary Neville and his lot took over, they've been performing each and I think they got, was it 5 or 6 promotions in a row?
I think it's 5.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, but you look at teams like Dorking's an example. If you have the backing from someone outside, it's very easy to shoot up the leagues.
Yeah. Woking,
Right.
sorry.
Yeah. I was just going to move on to team that surprised me this season, Altrincham.
Yes.
I
Yeah.
think
Yeah.
I had them tips. There's one team to go down. I know they're a nice, big, old-fashioned non-league club. So I've heard from people. Yeovil have had various games against them over the years when we was, well, not against them, because I suppose it had been regionalised, but big non-league club. Has anyone watched them against your team this year?
No, we haven't played him yet.
They
We
called
play-
our game off.
We were meant to play Altrincham in December. That got postponed because of weather. We're playing them on Tuesday night. And if there's any game in the next 3 or 4, I have to say I'm not looking forward to it. It would have to be Altrincham because they've just surprised me this season.
Yeah.
Who's their
We've
top
asked
scorer?
They've got a couple of good players, though. Like
We versed them the 4th game of the season at our place, and we did control the game, which I thought we would. But in the 86th minute, they got a corner and scored from it. And
Yeah,
then
they do.
got-
They strike
got
me as a
penalty.
team that never give up. Like the amount of times you see them behind and then they'll come back.
Yeah, they're a bit similar to Wycombe last season when we came
And
up.
then,
And
to be honest, they were lucky that they didn't take 3 points. They got a penalty in the last minute, and our keeper thankfully saved it. But they were a good team at what they wanted to do, and that was come back, soak up pressure, and then hit us on the counter, which they did, and got a corner out of it and scored.
Well, yeah,
Well,
they were outsiders in the playoffs as well when they came up, weren't they? They faced York. Was it York, Boston?
I think they played
Chester.
Underdogs in all of those, near enough all of those games, wasn't it?
They beat Chester, they beat York, and I thought
Yeah.
Boston would have them for dead.
Yeah, so did I at the time. Yeah.
I backed Boston to win the playoffs.
Maybe
Yeah.
that was my bias of wanting Boston to come up just in case we were allowed to go, because that's a local derby for them, just the other side of the wash. So
Looking at Altringham's squad, they're not blessed with great goal scorers. Their top scorers on 4 goals this season. They just grind out those results that they've needed. I think.
Yeah.
You just
That's
wonder.
what you got to do sometimes, yeah.
You wonder will they fade over the second half of the season like Wycombe did last year when it gets fixture congestion. When you
Yeah,
get
they-
like
Altrincham fans are not going to like you for that.
They played
it's
18 games, won 6, drawn 6, lost 6. So they're doing all right.
the Devils team.
That just screams mid-table, though, to be honest.
Yeah, like when everyone's played all their games, they're going.
Yeah, I'm not sure about the playoffs.
They played-
I think
they played
their
mid-table
most
will
games.
be a
They'll
good
get
call.
playoffs.
They played the most games this season as well. They played
I
18.
don't think they're good enough for playoffs. I think they'll finish about 12, 13.
Yeah,
Yeah,
they're not
sounds-
that
yeah.
good. They're just
is their ground good enough for league standard anyway?
I think
Ah.
it's decent little ground, isn't it?
that's few. They're not
I
going
think it's
up.
all right.
I reckon they won't get playoffs. They'll be like 10th to 15th.
I
Yeah.
think Altrincham are going back to, I think Will made this point earlier, or Kel, a side that never gives up. Last season when they came to our
That's me.
place, oh sorry,
Sorry.
I think when they came to our place last season, we were 2-0 up in something like the 85th minute, and they just came back, scored 2 quick fire goals in injury time, and drew 2-2.
But you
Brilliant
look
little
at
side.
the way they're playing. They're getting a lot of luck. I mean,
Mm.
they scored a 94th minute screamer yesterday, and that
Yeah.
doesn't happen every week.
That's
we
luck.
saw Wealdstone earlier in the season. They got a lot of luck. They were winning games 4-3, and now they've got to the point where they can't quite keep up with the better teams in the division.
They caught Yeovil out. Wilstone did on the opening day of the season. I think drew, well, not second game of the season. Drew 1-2. They impressed me, to be honest. And that's the same with Kings Lynn. I thought Kings Lynn were very good.
I think we
point
got
you made earlier,
lucky
that
against
Marriott, very good
Yeovil.
player.
I think we did get a bit lucky against Yeovil because I shouldn't say this, but I think Dale Southwell was offside for our first goal. But
And it came off one of your players' hand, didn't it?
yeah, for when Marriott scored the second, apparently
Yeah.
I can't remember. I was in the pub pissed as anything, so I can't really remember.
Neither can I. I was in the pub in Yeovil watching that game, and I thought I got up and cheered and we went 1-0 up. I thought, what am I doing? Celebrating going 1-0 up against Kings Lynn. Oh, look at it, and you're 2 points behind us, whatever.
But no, but Courtney Doofus's goal against us, your second, I think it was Doofus, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Absolutely brilliant goal, despite going down injured at the same time
Good
as
player.
kicking it.
Yeah.
He looks like a very good player, but then again, I haven't watched Yeovil at all apart from that. So
He's got a case for being our best striker, like a toss up between him and Reece Murphy. Well, and Ruben Reid now. What a signing!
And Joe Quigley.
Joe Quigley.
pretty much everyone on
Is it?
Yeovil squad.
Joe Quigley's one that some fans like what he does. If you like Route 1 football, some fans don't like it.
Thing is, though, when I went to watch, I went and reported on Wycombe Yeovil, and this was when you were on your dodgy run without a win, and you weren't even that bad. There was just a lack of confidence in the team.
I was again Yeovil missed a penalty, wasn't it?
And Boykin missed the penalty. Yeah,
Did you? Oh, right. Well, but
and then got an
if that penalty goes in, it could be a different story. But now you could say that about that game, but in half the games this year, we've been absolutely terrible.
You could say that about every game. You could say, oh, if that wasn't called offside there, or if that penalty went in, the league could be a different story.
it all evens itself out, there, doesn't it?
Yeah, of course it does.
I mean, there's no doubt Torquay deserve to be top by the margin they are. So.
Oh,
We do, yeah. I believe so.
Yeah, 100%.
Best team.
Can we keep it up? We don't know, but
I mean,
like to be fair,
yeah.
like most games you've won by one goal. Like we just work hard. Like last 5. That's how
like
we've
there's a
won all
couple
our
of games. Obviously, Stockport start of the season. They were all over us, put it that way, and we just kept going. Last 10 minutes, got the goal, but then since then we've sort of, I think it was Maidenhead on Tuesday night. Fans were back. We were brilliant, just all over them the whole game. But we kind of have these off spells sometimes. Obviously, Kings Lynn,
questionable manager decisions.
Yeah, like Gary, great manager, but
What's he doing? Management is shocking.
What is he doing?
Everyone has
With
off
Torquay,
moments.
you haven't lost to a good team, have you? I think the only teams you lost to
Not
was
particularly,
Dagenham, Redbridge, and Yeovil. Was
We were all over Dagenham
to be
that
fair,
day.
so dude,
and
I said
Eastleigh,
to him
I
we'd
think they
lose
lost
that game. We were playing midfielders in like right back and left back that game. Like we were guaranteed to lose that game, even though we dominated them as well.
But then you look at the Hartlepool game where we were just unstoppable, and then Aldershot as well.
The losers like for probably the season is a worry.
But obviously we got Notts away next in the league, so it's not a great fixture to have next. But as long as we can bounce
Sutton
back,
as well, aren't you? Coming up.
Sutton straight after, yeah. So
Notts and Sutton's.
Sutton, I think we'll
4
win.
games behind.
Quite
you,
confident
aren't
about that, but Notts away. We can't
we
lose
win
to Notts.
If we win on, we have to put our best lineup in the FA Trophy.
We've got to beat Notts as well, because obviously Hartlepool are breathing down our neck now. So
yeah.
Yeah,
We have a couple of easy games coming up, so if we continue the run that we're on, who knows what could happen.
If someone gets a COVID outbreak as well,
to be fair, I'm more worried about Notts County than Stockport, and I'm Hartlepool because of their games in hand. Like,
I don't know what's going on with
Stockport. I reckon Notts County or Stockport. If we don't win our next 2 games in the league, I reckon Notts County could probably run away with it.
Yeah.
Honestly, I believe that we have to beat Notts County or get a draw at least.
Torquay have to get at least 4 points out of Notts and Sutton.
Yeah, that's what I said. I agree with that. But now we've lost Danny Wright, we're bringing a new striker, rumoured to be Rob 3. He needs to score the goals as this group.
Yeah, he's rated very highly by Crystal Palace fans. Some saying he's one of their best youth strikers. Banged them in, top scorer last 2 years.
Danny Wright is a big miss. Like probably the worst.
Hasn't played men's football though, so it's a bit of a risk. But we need anyone at the moment. Josh Amira's just not doing it.
But always signing a young striker from the Premier League or Championship club, it's always a risk. It could be great or they could be rubbish. It just depends.
But
to be fair though, we don't need a goal scorer. We need someone who can hold the ball up because
we're getting goals from all over.
We rely on Whitfield, Evans, and Amara. If you've watched us, you know they're our stand-up players. And without like a target man up top, we're shocking. Like so, hopefully the good target man will be fine.
But we can't complain though. Start of the season, I predicted a 6th to 10th finish. Playoffs.
If we won
it,
if we bottle it now, it'll be the worst thing in the world.
Yeah, Josh,
but we weren't predicted to
looking
be
at
in the
that
first
table,
place.
you need to calm down a bit, I think, because you're 8 points clear at the minute.
Yeah, but 8 points clear, but like that's not realistic, is it? Everyone played their games, they'll probably be like 3 to 2 points ahead, if that. Like, let's be realistic.
Yeah, but those 3 games now that teams have got, they're going to get played over the course of 2 months, 2-3 months. You never know what's going to happen in them.
Who's second? Is it Hartlepool?
Hartlepool, yeah.
Thought so, yeah.
But Sutton have 3 games in hand, so they're Notts County. It's Stockport have 4, I think.
But it's just if we want to actually win the league, like you can't be winning in the 87th minute and go on and lose 2-1. I mean, it's us as fans knew that we had to make a change. We sat back and you could see we were going to let one in, and we did. We ended up letting 2 in.
We've got the best manager in the league, but he makes stupid decisions. We didn't make a sub till the 89th minute that game.
Mm-hmm.
That's
Yeah.
just baffling.
I don't see the point in making subs in anything from the 85th onwards.
It wasn't
really.
just a sub though. It was a game change. Like we just sat back.
Yeah,
If
we
if
looked
attacked the
awful
Oval,
that whole
we
game.
could've-
Like second half,
yeah.
we were awful. That's why, like, we screamed out for like a substitute.
But before
got
that,
good
we used to defend Leeds fine, but it's just suddenly we're
Yeah,
sort of
but
getting
the
a bit
real-
inconsistent.
The
I
realistic
know we're
thing is,
missing players.
I'll be
but-
honest. The reason, like, we've always been shit defensively. I'll be honest, like, but we score more goals than we concede.
Been alright this season, but
I
just the odd
disagree.
time.
To be fair, like, we're getting exposed because we're not scoring more goals. We're
So
we're
you
shit.
have like you score 3, we'll score 4.
Yeah, exactly. That.
Mentality. Right.
I don't think we've been that good defensively, but
we haven't got the best. Well, personally, I don't think we've got the best keepers in the world either. I think I would.
don't even
got
get
a
me
keeper
started.
in.
I could rant for hours.
We don't think we're going to get a keeper this
We're not
window
getting
though,
a keeper. It's been confirmed.
because Gary rates both keepers, but us as fans, we really don't. They're too inconsistent for me.
Oh yeah, like I just.
They don't win you games. They're not those sort of keepers. It's just what you need, really.
I'm sure Torquay switch keepers regularly, like one game,
Yeah,
one
they do.
kicks, and
Yeah, Gary Johnson
That's
loves
already
doing
the
that.
best.
He's done it for the last 3 years. From the
I
Athletic
don't
South,
think,
they're-
that really
They're
is
both
the best.
about the same in quality, really. I mean, I'd say Coverland's a little bit better, but there's not much in it.
Because when Gary came in, we were in the Athletic South. We had Alex Bass and John McDonald. Every
Yeah.
other game he switched. Every other game. It just made no sense. Then we've done that for, like since he arrived.
You do need a good goalkeeper.
We have not. Yeah, we
And
need
one
like
that's
an
gonna play.
experience who's 30 odd. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
if
you
the
need one that's
goalkeeper-
going to play you 39 of the 46, 44 games in the season, whatever it is. Like, he needs to play regularly.
Especially if we're
But-
top table, like that could ruin us.
You
Because
need one who the defence can rely
Like,
on as well.
we played Weymouth and we conceded 2 shocking goals because of McDonald's mistakes. Like shouldn't be happening.
See, I think that your keeper McDonald, he was absolute class.
Yeah,
at the
exactly.
win.
Too inconsistent, though. We'll have.
Yeah,
he
we
won
have 2 there. Both in
National League
yeah.
South. He won a few awards, best keeper, and we thought, oh, he could do a job in the National League. Just not really at it, really. I don't know if he's really ready for this level yet.
He's only like 23 though, so send him out. on
Yeah,
loan.
I think he'd be better off having another season in the league below and then seeing what happens. I don't know.
Anyway, keeping on the subject of National League South, do you two Torquay fans think that season you had a couple of years ago in there helped in any way?
Definitely, absolutely.
It made us get the
No,
fans more positive.
We
'cause
needed,
like,
we needed
were
to
in a
go down.
down-
It does,
Yeah.
because we were in relegation battles for what was it 3 years in a row, and we needed to just go down to sort of refresh the club, and it really did help. I mean, we've come up a different sort of club.
I personally believe if Gary Johnson had come in, we'd be bust right now.
Yeah.
We wouldn't have a club because he came in, changed the
Osborne
way
would
we
have
played,
left.
and yeah, we were like he wouldn't have stayed. Gary Johnson come in and like we changed our team, whole moral of the band, the happiness.
Brought the fans back
Yeah,
together,
it's
sort
just-
of thing. Yeah.
Without
Your crowds went through the roof in National League South.
like National League South.
Well, yeah, last game of the season we broke the attendance record. What was it? 5,500, I think.
I can't remember. Mate.
So
Yeah.
That must be one of the highest step 2 attendances ever.
it was, I think. Yeah.
What was it? You set 1,400 down to Woking.
Well, yeah, big
Bloody
game.
hell,
That.
1,400
Yeah.
to Woking.
Yeah, that's all I'm gonna talk about that game.
Great game, that.
How
Oh,
many?
I'd say
How much
Torquay are up
does
there
your?
with some of the best pictures ever created in the stand at a football match.
There's
over
no
the past
camera
couple of years.
videos of the last minute goal though, like on our fans. It's just proper annoying.
That's probably for the
Limbs,
best.
proper
The last
limbs.
thing you want to be doing is recording the game with your phone at that time.
No, I mean someone recording us. I mean, like it's all
Yeah,
like,
because
the
Woking
other side.
fans were not
Yeah.
happy. They were fuming. Yeah.
Yeah, luckily I was somewhere in Prague. It's like, I mean, when Ben Gerrans got sent off, I literally just turned the phone off. I knew it was coming.
It was scripted. We knew it would happen. Like he was rattled up before the whole game.
Mm.
Like
Well, on to the National League South this season. Is anyone that sort of keeps up with it? Who believes? Who do you believe is going to win the league this year in that league if it keeps going on? Josh, I know you keep an eye on it.
Dorking, yeah. Before the season, I would have said Dorking, and I still stand by that. They're probably the best side Hampton have faced this season. Even though Hampton haven't lost to them, they're definitely a very strong side. And obviously, they've got a lot of backing. Their squad's probably, maybe wouldn't say national equality yet, but it's definitely on the way to being national equality. It's very strong. And yeah, they're currently top at the moment as well. So if they can carry on and go on a decent run, then I wouldn't be surprised to see them win the league.
Was it Dorking that lost to Weymouth last year in the playoffs? Was it Dartford? It was one or the other.
Yeah, Dorking lost.
It was Dartford, wasn't it? Dartford lost because Dartford missed all 3 penalties, didn't they?
I think
Oh,
Weymouth
yeah,
played
that's it,
Dorking.
yeah.
I can't remember who Dorking played now. Well, both
I
of them
remember
were first
Dorking
and
beat
second at the
Bath
minute,
in the
but-
first playoff. And then
That's
I
it.
can't
Yeah, but
remember who they played
that's
next.
prime Bath territory. They always do that.
I'm
Yeah.
Bath very
But I think
season.
obviously Dartford are obviously going to be up there because they've got a decent manager, Steve King. We all know about him, but
Yeah, but-
he's obviously not got a good record in promotion, has he?
Yeah,
He's not.
Playoffs, he's a bottler. He
Yeah.
needs to win that league, otherwise.
But he's obviously a great manager. I mean, look at sort of the Welling team he formed a few years ago. Now he's got what's that player?
Liverpool.
Naguri back here in that league. He's probably
Where's
one of the
Elliot
best
Remain
players.
these days?
I think he's at Dartford.
Is it Dartford because he Eastbourne again?
I can't actually
Eastbourne
remember.
are doing well. I mean, considering they literally said they were bright before the start of the season.
Yeah,
Hungerford as well.
Dartford, yeah.
Hungerford are
Hungerford.
really
They're obviously
surprised.
the relegation favourites every year, aren't they?
Hungerford are a massive surprise.
To be in the playoffs. Yeah.
Since they got up, every season pretty much they're predicted to finish down the bottom. And fair play to them, they've stayed up every season, and now they're really
Yeah,
shocking.
because they've got
They're-
that former Yeovil player, Brad. Can't remember his
Seager.
name. You probably know
Seager.
Seager. That's it.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah, he's won it. He's Yeovil through and through. But I think that's what made us keep him so long, really. Right, he didn't do a lot, but the fact we seem to hung on to the fact he was a Yeovil fan. But yeah, he's another striker that's left Yeovil and gone on to score goals wherever he's been.
Sure.
It
What's your
seems to
thoughts
happen
on
a
Billy
lot.
Rickey, new manager?
Well, it's Kevin Watson in it. So obviously he had that spell at with Ebbsfleet last season, and obviously they went down. So, but it could be a decent appointment in on national staff level. It's probably what they need at the moment. Because
I
obviously
rate
they're
him
down
highly, to
towards.
be fair.
Yeah,
Alright.
Yeah,
he-
it's
Yeah,
like-
he
I
could have.
think
I
they
think he would have kept
He
Ebbsfleet.
didn't deserve to
season
get sacked.
carried on.
Like, he didn't deserve to get sacked from Epsley, in my opinion. I thought if he stayed, Epsley would have come straight back up.
Yeah, because he got a draw against us at our place. I remember they weren't best team, but they did a job. Like defensively,
Good.
quite solid.
And look at them now. I mean, I think I saw on Nathan Holt's thing they haven't scored a goal in about 5 games.
Exactly.
Yeah, absolutely, a really poor side this season.
Bit of a-
It's a bit because they've got a quality. They've got some decent players in that squad too, and they're sitting in 11th, and they've not really shown intent of a side that wants to go back up, which is a bit of a shock.
baffling
Didn't they get their
decision
manager
to
from
bring
like
in
a
It is one,
fucking
yeah.
weird league?
Yeah.
Yeah,
We'll
I'm
get
not.
Nathan Holt
I'm
on
not
it one
convinced.
day,
I'm
I
not
reckon.
convinced by him.
Yeah.
I'm not convinced
I-
by him at all.
I
It
think
wouldn't surprise
Hampton-
me to see Ebbsfleet in the Southern League soon.
To be fair though, like I swear they've got like 50 new players this season. Epsley, I swear they've
It's
Quite a
signed-
different team, yeah.
I know they had Liam Martin, who was at Exeter last season as well.
Yeah, that was a good sign.
they've got
That was
We were
a
linked to him.
sign as well, yeah.
some proper solid National League South players, like Bobby George Taylor. You've
Yeah,
got-
I'm just Rakesh Bingham.
Yeah, but I'm not surprised with they brought in like an inexperienced manager. It's always gonna happen, you know what I mean?
But yeah, they lost Ugwu as well. It's obviously a big loss.
Mm.
Yeah, I was disappointed he didn't come back to us, to be honest.
What about National League North, Dan? What do you think of it at the moment?
National North.
Yeah.
What I would say is, ever since Christmas period, I haven't really been checking up on it, but Gloucester are still top, aren't they?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
They're quite an ambitious side, aren't they?
They got a lot of money,
surprised
haven't they?
me.
And they keep getting their players nicked by Chesterfield.
I don't know why, but Gloucester really has surprised me because
Didn't Gloucester sign that Marsh Brown?
Yeah, they signed him. Yeah.
Yeah.
But that was
Uh,
quite a big game the other day. The Kiddie were 2-0 up, and then Gloucester came back and won 3-2, which is quite a big
Yeah.
statement.
Yeah,
Good
I
result that
think
was.
we could see Gloucester in the National League next year.
Definitely, yeah. I
Which
think
is
they could.
something I wouldn't think I'd have said. I would have thought that the promotion places would have been between York and Boston.
They're definitely
Good away
going
day
to
for us
Fylde
in
as
the
well.
Southwest.
Filed. They've just
Oh,
signed
I thought
Sam
Fylde
Osborne,
would be.
haven't they, for an
Yeah.
undisclosed fee? I mean,
I forgot about Fylde, yeah.
I think Fylde got games in hand, though, haven't they? Quite a few games in hand.
Leamington
They
are
are-
seventh,
Fylde
aren't
have 3
they?
games in hand, and they have
They can
27.
overtake them if they win their games in hand. Yeah.
Yeah.
Are Leamington
Gloucester,
still in the playoff places?
Chester, really good side. Because they were up there early on.
they're always there or thereabouts, though, aren't they?
Yeah.
Chester.
I will always maintain this, that the National League North is so much harder than the National South.
Oh yeah,
Oh,
definitely.
I agree
Yeah.
with that. Yeah.
I'll do that, but like if you look the last, actually, when we came up, like the National League South side were decent, but then the National League North side went
Yeah.
back down again. But
Yeah, but the National League South teams seem to do better when they go up.
I feel like
Yeah.
we saw the best of the National League South sides because Torquay and Woking were quite big
Yeah,
games.
that
When
season was
Torquay
probably the
Woking were
highest
National
ever
South,
quality.
Billericay were also one of the sides that were really strong and challenging, and they've just fallen away as well all of a sudden.
but that's because Glenn Tamplin pulled out, didn't he?
Yes,
Halfway through
that.
the
Yeah.
season.
I mean, that was all it is. Yeah.
But what I will say about National League South, when Gary Johnson came in, we were like 15th. Then we won the league by 12 points. That's how bad the quality is.
Yeah, the quality was very poor.
Like how that happened, I don't know. That just screams how bad it is.
But Torquay had some ridiculous players for National League South. I mean,
Jamie Reid.
Look at him.
Jamie Reid, but to be fair, he was shocking to Gary coming too.
That's because he was being
all
played
our
at wing
fans
and his
wanted him out.
confidence.
Like before Gary Johnson came in, no one liked Reid. Reid was the worst player in our club. All the fans hated him, booing him, never wanted him to start. Gary come in, look at him now. He's playing for Mansfield week in week.
Yeah.
But what I would say about the National League North is my only real criticism of it is all the teams that seemed to come to us last season just hoofed the ball up instead of played it on the ground. Like, I don't see the point in that. I'd rather have a team that build up from the back, go forward on the ground, rather than just boot it up and hope that someone's going to be on the other end.
That's why Dorking do well, because they've got a good team that play it on the floor.
Yeah, that's what we did in South. We didn't do any hoofball. We just played it on the floor.
Nick Wheeler on the wing gets tons of assists, and he was at Woking, but the problem was
he was a good player.
When we went to Southport away, Adam Marriott scored a goal. In build-up, we had about 25 passes uninterrupted, all on the floor. So I definitely prefer playing it on the floor to lobbing it up the pitch.
Oh yeah, I mean, our last 3 games have been hopeless because we've just been hoofing the ball up to no one. It just doesn't work.
But when you came to our place, you actually had decent football. We just stole it in the last 5 minutes.
Yeah, that was a silly little collapse, but
when you should have had a penalty to make it 3-1.
Yeah.
Also, I'll just stick the National League South table. Wellingham bottom and Slough 2020. What the fuck happened there? They used to be challenging in that league. And Bath 18th. What the fuck?
Whilst we're on the subject of Slough,
and Billericay is 17th.
Yeah, talk about Slough.
I know. Slough obviously raised their concerns to the National League about wanting to whether the season is fit to continue or not, and that got a lot of backlash, rightly so, considering where they are in the league. Obviously, second bottom.
Yeah.
Would they have been doing it if they weren't second bottom?
Exactly.
Of course not.
Exactly.
No.
If they were in the position of Torquay at the moment, they'd be going to the offices and begging.
Seriously.
Bored.
Barnett's assistant said the same. But you wonder, why is it always the teams at the bottom who say it?
Well, it's Weymouth fans as well, isn't it, that's saying cancel the season. I don't get the logic of that.
Cancel the season, that's just saving finances, but it's where the National League are helping, or the government, put funding. So that makes no sense. Just carry on the season like it is.
And also, a lot of clubs have about 1,100 people buying streams. So at £10 each, that's an extra 13 grand a week. So
Definitely.
Just quickly, what do people think of like the quality of various streams across the league?
It's got
I'll be honest with you. When I was watching Yeovil, like the camera was following the ball. Like, what's that?
And then the Daleks came in. We all know about the Daleks,
Yeah.
don't we?
Yeah.
Yeah.
In my opinion, Notts' stream is the best in the National League. Well, the
Bromley
best
for
that
me.
I've had so far.
Bromley for me as well, yeah, but I haven't seen Notts yet. So.
there's 2 streams overall this season that really left a bad taste in my mouth. Kings Lynn versus Bromley, it froze at the start and it literally looked like a stop motion film. And Barnet, which just decided to cut out in the 56th minute and we missed our second goal and it wouldn't come back on until the 87th.
Oh, when we played Barnet, no, not Barnet, Weymouth, second game of the season, it looked like the camera was barely strapped onto like a pole, so it was just moving around constantly, and you felt like you had motion sickness because I mean, how you can watch a game of football like that? But they've got better.
Anyone with a bold head at Yeovil was getting tracked by the ball following camera. It's hilarious.
Defo, yeah. I'll say this much for free. Unpopular opinion, the best stream I've seen this season would probably have to be Hartlepool.
Really?
We
Yeah.
haven't played them, so
I would say
theirs.
I'd probably say ours or
I'm not a
Bromley.
fan of ours. I don't know. The cameras, that's not
Alder
great.
Shots was very good. Alder Shots has a halftime show as well.
Yeah, but theirs
I
keeps
thought
cutting
that
out during the
about
game. Like their pre-match
Yeovil.
stuff was very good, but their
I
actual
think Notts was class.
match was actually not great.
I've
Notts
not
had like
had it, not yet.
replays. Notts had like half-time analysation and all that. I thought I was watching Sky Sports. Notts was class.
Yeah,
Also,
I think
yeah,
that's
Yeah,
what
but
you need to do.
that's when you have loads of
Yeovil was
money can
alright
do for you,
for us.
don't it? Really.
Sutton's really annoyed me because as soon as they went 4-0 up against us, their commentators started singing the hokey bloody cokey. What's the point in that?
Oh,
Not the best, like.
the best commentary was Weymouth. It was like Alan Partridge, honestly. It's so funny.
I thought
Dan.
the
yeah.
commentary team were all right, to be fair.
What was it? Will, was it just shouting Dan every 5 seconds?
No, it was.
Should we talk about the FA Trophy games?
This weekend?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes. Who's
Who's
everyone
everyone
got
got?
then?
I've got Bowen Wood.
We've got Boreham Wood.
I was gonna say let's field our youth, but we haven't had a game for 2 weeks.
We
so
might
we're
as
gonna
well
have to
just
field-
play a strong
We're
side.
gonna have
Yeah.
to, we're gonna have to fill our strong side for next Saturday, Notts County.
It's not the easiest game, Boreham Wood away, but I mean, it's only the trophy.
It's the FA Trophy. It's the FA Trophy on many teams' priorities at the moment.
Not
would you
to
say?
be
Not
fair,
really, no.
I'll be brutally
not,
honest.
yeah.
It's not on ours, but we're
But
gonna
I don't want to
try
lose
and
games.
we have
I just
to
want
win
to keep
now
that winning
we're
mentality.
gonna have to build our best lineup
There's
because we
that.
haven't played in 2 weeks. So
The FA Trophy, it's still a bit of a mess because obviously you haven't got last season's been played yet, which is still a bit of a farce, to be honest.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I mean,
They may as well just share that between the 2 finalists. Who were the finalists? Harrogate and Notts, weren't it?
Concord.
Harrogate and Concord.
Concord, I think. Yeah.
They may as well
Concord,
just share that now because it's never
Yeah.
going to get played, is it?
I think they're hanging on to the fact
I
that
don't
might
think
be
Harrogate really care either.
to be
do they?
fair,
Harrogate are now
the-
League 2.
the currently
Yeah.
the current state of the
Harrogate
fucking
won't care about it.
the current state of the FA Cup, it should be cancelled because we're not getting all our games finished, so we should focus on the league games. Why are we putting more pressure on the
I
FA Trophy?
agree.
I don't get why that's even
Yeah.
happening.
I think on
But-
Saturday we play Hornchurch, who I believe are in the Isthmian League
Isthmian.
Premier.
It's in Premier.
Part of me thinks that we should field out a weaker side, and the other part of me saying go for it but if we want to fight against relegation, it's a tough one really for me because I think relegation's already sorted.
Another idea could be play the FA Trophy in pre-season.
FA
Because-
Trophy right now should not be a priority. Simple as.
No,
Well,
shouldn't be any.
We're still struggling. We need teams have games to play in the league. Why are they bringing FA Trophy in to add more added pressure? It's just ridiculous.
It doesn't generate any money either. I mean,
It's pathetic.
No.
Like
That's really why I wasn't really.
I'm in a
bothered with
situation
Arsenal.
where I want us to win because we're filling our best lineup because we have to, but I want us to lose so we can get out of it.
Like
Like,
when we got beat off Halifax on pens, I was half thinking, "Oh, we're out." but I wasn't really bothered because we
Yeah.
want to concentrate on the league. Like,
You're never
I
really
don't
bothered
wanna-
when you
I
get
don't wanna
kicked out of the FA
disrespect
Trophy.
the FA Trophy, but since we've been in this league, we haven't really cared about it, to be honest.
Yeah, the
Obviously,
thing is,
we
right, if
wanna
we
win the game,
lose,
but-
if we lose on Saturday, it's just going to be back of the head. Are we falling apart? Are we falling apart? So we have to win. We have to beat Bournemouth.
Yeah, I want to
Anyway,
win.
Yeah.
boys, I reckon stop you there. Being told by tech man behind the camera, Luke, that it's time to wrap it up. Anyone that's still listening, thank you. It's much appreciated. We hope to be back next weekend. Hopefully, be a bit more organised.
Yeah, we're gonna have a Notts County fan on to preview the
Yeah.
Torquay Notts County. Might try and get
Yeah.
a Sutton fan on as well because that's gonna be a big game on the Tuesday.
Using Notts to get the fans in. I like it.
Mm.
But yeah, thank you for listening. It's good. It will be a different set of people. May not be 8, maybe 4, maybe 2, maybe 6.
But there needs to be the main people, but other people coming as well, I think.
Yeah, in the future,
Yeah,
if you stick
we'll
with us.
get
I think this has worked absolutely perfectly, really.
Yeah, it's been
I
good.
Yeah,
think
it's-
really
Shout
well.
out to
It's
Luke
fine.
though, fucking being the tech guy.
Yeah, well done, Luke.
Yeah.
Thank
Yeah.
you, mate.
Nice one,
Thank
Luke.
you very
Yeah,
kindly.
so I really appreciate it.
Right, anyway,
Um,
say bye. We will hopefully see you all in the
Thanks for
near
listening.
future.
yeah,
Cheers,
cheers all.
cheers,
Cheers
guys.
whoever came
Alright.
up with this idea. Just want to say take care, everyone, and see you in a
safe
bit.
and all that. Yeah.
Stay
Right.
safe, guys.
Thanks.
Goodbye.
All right.
All right.
See you. Bye. Bye.
Thank you very
Cheers,
much for
guys.
listening.
Bye.
Cheers, guys. See ya.
See ya.